Thank you, Liz. In the next few minutes, I'll share some updates and experience with Pixel, photorefractive intrastromal crosslinking. In terms of financial disclosures, I'm Chief Medical Officer for Avedro. So as you all know, crosslinking works through a chemical reaction that involves a drug, UV light, and oxygen. So on the bottom left, you see an example of a keratoconus patient having crosslinking performed with riboflavin, Photrexa, and the KXL device, which is the only approved product by the FDA for this. On the bottom right, you see a device that's not available in the US that allows us to provide customized treatment of crosslinking to create any pattern on the surface of the cornea. So when we look at patients who have had prior surgery, what's the opportunity here? Pixel crosslinking allows us to provide a non-invasive method of treatment that doesn't require incisions and doesn't require ablation of tissue. So this can certainly be relevant or important for patients who have had prior cataract surgery and need some type of refractive adjustment. But it may also be very important for patients who are becoming presbyopic after they've had prior refractive surgery, LASIK or PRK. Or perhaps just in patients who are presbyopic in general. And if we think of the continuum of how patients, as they develop presbyopia, may progress in the future, if they're not comfortable with glasses or contact lenses, we suspect that they will want to try the presbyopic drops that are being investigated right now. And then ultimately, a refractive lens exchange or a cataract procedure may be appropriate. But that, as well as inlays or even another LASIK procedure, would certainly be considered more invasive than what Pixel may be able to provide in a presbyopic patient. So how does Pixel work? At the bottom, you see a correction for myopia. The schematic demonstrates stiffening of the cornea in the center so that the peripheral portion of the cornea will change shape. The opposite is right above that, a hyperopic or presbyopic treatment where the stiffening is occurring in this donut shape in the periphery, and then the central portion of the cornea will slightly steepen as a result. So the goal is to provide a one-time non-invasive treatment for a patient who is close to emmetropia from a refractive perspective, but provide a treatment that ultimately gives either blended or monovision outcome by treating a small amount of myopia or a small amount of hyperopia as indicated. And this should be something that allows the patient to recover quickly and be comfortable during the process. So there have been over 200 Pixel treatments done internationally, and that forms the basis for our next set of studies. Here's an example of a patient where you can see demarcation line in the mid-periphery that was a hyperopic treatment, and on the right, a change in topography after a Pixel treatment for hyperopia as well. So to summarize, Pixel is a potential non-invasive treatment for presbyopia that includes just drops, UV light, and oxygen. It may likely be extremely beneficial for patients who have had prior surgery, whether it's cataract or refractive surgery. The early clinical results have been promising, and we're about to engage in a multi-center phase 2 study this year. Thank you very much.